me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either you're a Christian or you're not.
I won't talk to you if you're a smartass.
Either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Jordan Peterson getting destroyed, in my humble opinion, on Jubilee in a debate about Christians versus atheists. Now, this was really kind of weird the way they did it. Let me explain what's going on before we get into the actual clips and the response from the young man in the video. Now, the original title of the Jubilee video was One Christian, Jordan Peterson versus 100 Atheists. You know how they do. Okay, you got one guy, he's sitting up there. People are coming up to him, debating him for a certain period of time. That's the whole thing. I think Charlie Kirk has done that. Quite a few guys have done this already. Now, Jordan Peterson doesn't really want to claim being Christian 100%, which doesn't fit because, hey, the title of this show is One Christian versus 100 Atheists. So from the beginning, he went into it kind of wrong. Now, they've changed that title since then because of how wrong that was to Jordan Peterson versus 100 Atheists, but that was not the original intent of the show. Now, before I go too far into it, let's get to the first clip here. And of course, I will link to this clip and the next clip in the box. If you want to see it and hear it without my commentary, if you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Can you be very clear about your definition of worship again?
Attend to, prioritize, and sacrifice for.
Okay, that's it. That's your understanding of worship.
Well, I could flesh it out, but that'll do for the time we have.
Now, this guy right here, his name is Danny. I'm going to link to his page and whatnot in the box. And of course, y'all know Jordan Peterson already. Let's keep going. And I got to pause a little bit for copyright. So Jubilee don't get me with a copyright strike or a claim.
Okay. Do Catholics attend to Mary?
Well, yes.
Okay. So do they fit that description of worship?
Yes.
So you would say Catholics and other people that revere Mary, like the Eastern Orthodox tradition, worship Mary.
So I guess the thing here, and you see my man in the background smiling, I think the thing here he's trying to say is that the Catholics worship the idols, worship the saints and the Pope and things like this. I guess that's the idea.
Well, they might not put her in the highest
But
place.
you would put it that way.
No.
You just said it. Now you're taking it back.
There's
now?
still a hierarchy.
Okay, there's a hierarchy, but within the
There's something at the top.
All right, you can worship things
Mary
below.
is quite a ways up the hierarchy, but not at the top.
Let's go over your definition of worship again. What's your definition of worship?
Attend to,
Attend to.
prioritize,
Do
and
Catholics
sacrifice for.
do Catholics attend to? Do they prioritize Mary over all other human beings?
No, I didn't say overall, did I? I didn't add that to my definition.
You understand?
I mean, I know where he's going, but his debate tactic is a little bit leading. But I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that the Catholics worship the idols. I get it, but you could kind of frame that a little bit better or not be so leading with your questions. But he's young. This guy's got to be like 18. I don't know how old this young guy is, but he's real young. And Jordan Peterson is 63 years old.
I said there was a hierarchy as well.
You attend.
So you can attend to something trivially, or you can attend to it deeply.
Okay, now you're adding stuff to the definition. But your original definition.
I added the hierarchy part at the beginning.
Are you familiar?
Just didn't understand it.
Are you familiar with the Immaculate Conception?
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't
Now, this is where it kind of goes off the rails.
you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
how do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
And that's why everybody's laughing because of what I said at the beginning, because the title of this, the original title before they changed it, was One Christian versus 100 Atheists. So in this case, Jordan Peterson is supposed to be the Christian, and all the people in the background and a young man right there at the table are the atheists having a debate with him. So it's supposed to be about theology, faith, things of that nature. What Jordan Peterson does is kind of go off on a tangent about things that are kind of unrelated and a little bit esoteric, but I digress.
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either you're a
'cause
Christian
I won't
or you're
talk to
not.
you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression
private.
I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
That's a good question. Look, I was invited for a particular purpose. And you know what? Sometimes I'm not accusing Jubilee of doing this. Shout out to Jubilee. But sometimes these TV stations, TV networks especially, they will invite you for one thing, but once you get there, something else to do a bait and switch. So he's like, look, I was invited to talk to a Christian as an atheist. So are you not a Christian? What's going on? Who am I talking to? And if you're not a Christian, then what am I doing here? I was brought here under false pretenses.
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video.
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
All right, there we go. So again, hey, shout out to the young guy. Young guy tore him up. You know, I hate to admit it, but the young guy tore him up. I don't know if the young guy, liberal, conservative, it don't really matter. In this situation right here, he tore him to pieces. Now, let's get to the guy's response. Again, his name is Danny. All right, let's watch.
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
Yeah, that was me. I wanted to give some background. First of all, before the production, people all got emails, invitations, where the production title was One Christian versus 20 or 25 Atheists. Everyone got that email, at least on the atheist side. Of course, I don't know what personal emails they sent to Jordan Peterson, but before production, they announced, once again, the production title as being One Christian versus 20 Atheists. Jordan Peterson actually responded and actually, I think, giggled and said, well, some people don't consider me to be a Christian. He embraced the label before the filming, right?
Let's pause. Now, what he's saying right here, I believe to be 100% the truth, because I've been on Jubilee before, and that's how they do. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on. They're not going to hide nothing from you. From my experience, it's never like an ambush. That's why I say I don't want to put that on Jubilee as far as it being an ambush where you get invited for one thing, then there's something else, because they're really clear. So he says, okay, we have an email thread. It's exactly what it is. I said 100 atheists, one Christian versus 20, 25, however many atheists. I'm sure that's the case. And I also subscribe to Jubilee's casting calls, and then everything will be right there, very clear. It'll be the time, the general location, the theme, all of that is very clear. From my point of view, from my perspective, there's never any kind of confusion about what the title is or about what the show is going to be about.
I really think he just had something like a Joe Biden moment. He didn't really understand what it meant to say, yes, I'll be that one Christian in your video. If he was responsible, he would have declined. If he doesn't label himself as a Christian, like he didn't really answer my question, like whether he was a Christian or not, then he should have never entered the arena.
I agree. 100% agree. Because some of these prompts they have talking about some, okay, we want LGBTs between 24 and 30 to come talk about relationships. Okay, now I see what they want. I see what the requirements are. Why would I apply for that when I don't fit it at all? I'm not LGBT and I'm over 30 years old, so why would I apply? Same thing with Jordan Peterson. It says Christian versus atheist. If you're not either one, then why would you apply? I get it from the point of view of Jordan Peterson. He wants to kind of, promote his brand some more. And Jubilee, they kind of want to keep him in there because he has name recognition and it'll bring views. I get it. But you got destroyed because you did not follow the prompt. Mostly, that's why you got destroyed. And beyond that, you were not able to really substantiate any of what you were saying.
And yeah, the whole Mary worship thing, all I was trying to show there is that you play with words. You're going to say stuff like Catholics worship the saints and Mary and their Pope, right? Which they don't want to, they're not inclined to say that. Maybe there's a technical sense in which they worship them. That's not the point. That's not where he got owned. He got owned for accepting to be the one Christian and then saying in the production, yeah, I'm not telling you that I'm a Christian. And for those that don't know, Jubilee changed the title after public release. They got the backlash.
So you see what it says right there. That was the original title. One Christian versus 20 Atheists featuring Jordan Peterson. Okay.
Why did you invite Jordan Peterson to do the whole one Christian versus 20 Atheists? He's barely a Christian, if not even. So I understand why Jubilee changed the title, although that makes my point, kind of diminishes my point. But everybody, I think the top comment is that, they changed the.
Okay, let me move it down a little bit so you can see it. All right, it says it changed the title. It was One Christian, now it's Jordan Peterson, and it has 2.1 thousand likes, quite a bit.
The title of the video. But at the same time, it's hard to blame Jubilee completely. I mean, maybe they made a mistake. I wouldn't say that. If you look at Jordan Peterson's content very closely, especially the last couple months, he's been saying stuff like, yeah, there's a sense in which Christianity is true, or yes, Jesus rose from the dead. In fact, if you take a video camera 2,000 years ago outside of his tomb, maybe a person would come out.
I want to be clear: is what is the God you believe in?
I think that the claim that Christ is the embodiment of the prophet and the laws, I think that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's complicated. It's very, very complicated. But I think it's true.
so you believe that Jesus was
God?
God?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy that was interviewing him, right? He had asked multiple times. He was trying to get clarification, and he was so sweet about doing it. I just wasn't sweet about it. I'm tired of the BS, right? Like, I'm tired of the, am I a Christian? What does it mean? What does it all mean?
Yeah, there's more to the video, but you get the general idea. Jordan Peterson, I think he has some good things that he says, but for the most part, he's kind of like all over the place, really esoteric, not really having a solid foundation of principles, just general ideas, and you can kind of take from that whatever you want. I saw him speak one time as I closed. I saw him speak one time in Nashville with Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin was on stage, and they were just sitting there talking, and what they say, stream of consciousness. Basically, you just talking, and then maybe some things that you say are going to make sense to some people, and they're able to latch onto that. But you can't really do that type of talk in a debate format. You need to be straight, direct, clear, concise, have your points, be ready, be prepared. Danny was exactly what I said you should be: prepared, precise, having examples. He was ready for the debate in which he was invited to do, but Jordan Peterson was just going to be like, define this and define that, real kind of flowery in the sky, not really grounded. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Did you see the entire Jordan Peterson Jubilee episode? What'd you think? Did you think that he did well? Do you think that he did not do well? How about this interaction with Danny? How was that? Was it a dumpster fire train wreck for Danny, or dumpster fire train wreck for Jordan Peterson? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This was a dumpster fire for Jordan Peterson, 100%. That style of talking that he does not bode well in a debate format. Furthermore, if you're going to come to a debate as a Christian, you need to be prepared to debate as a Christian. You can't sit there and say, oh, I ain't going to tell you what I am. Well, why would you say that when you were invited to be the Christian debating atheist? It doesn't make any sense. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.